You are listening to the CRollur and Willy podcast.
All right, so we got topics today that we want to talk about.
There is something that's on my mind right now, which is something I've seen on YouTube. I saw a lawyer talking about it. I've been disconnected from the Destiny community for a while because my PlayStation's been broken, and I haven't been playing Destiny for a while. But apparently, somebody went through and started making false DMCA takedown claims for videos of Destiny 2 streamers and content creators on YouTube.
Which PlayStation are you playing on? Are you playing on the PS4? Are you playing on the PS5?
I'm playing on the PS5, and I actually have to go get it today because it's been fixed, but I haven't gotten it yet.
I don't understand the lawsuit though. Like, what do they have to actually?
Oh, yeah, they are suing. Bungie is suing for the damages required to deal with this issue and all the stuff that it took to take care of their community, because a lot of their dedicated players got struck in this and they had to immediately take resources to correct the issue because they made a promise to their community they could use Destiny 2 content for their streams and for their YouTube channels, and they could make communities around it. And this wave of false claims is causing problems within the community, making Bungie look like the bad guy.
Okay, so they're right to sue then.
Yeah, they're trying to sue, first of all, the people that are making these claims, but also they're going after Google for making it so easy, because anybody can fill out the form. I could go on there and make a claim against like Microsoft for using their own videos. I could go on there, just fill it out, say that I own the copyright to the video.
All right, so what it looks like, they're actually not just going for small TikTokers or anything. They're going for big corporations.
Well, the thing that I'm seeing, from what I can tell, is it appears to be somebody who had actually violated the terms of service for using Destiny content. If the rumors are correct, the person that's doing this is probably the person that straight up ripped off original soundtrack, OST music from Bungie and just uploaded it.
Oh, no shit.
You can't do that. You have to create some kind of content with it. Like if you're playing a game and you're sharing your gameplay, or if you're sharing like an update and you talk about how the update might affect the players and all that stuff, that's acceptable. But just straight up uploading like the soundtrack from the game, that is not.
No, you should not do that. But anything like this present ever happened before?
There's been a lot of things that have happened like this before, but this is the first time that a big company's actually gone after the people that have done it. A lot of times it ends up being just a company rolling out.
Can you think of a company like in the last 5 years similar things happened to?
I cannot personally think of anything in the last 5 years, but I do know that companies have rolled out things where they just mass marketed claims and then you had to fight back against them. But this is Bungie taking the thing and saying, we didn't do that. And it's affecting our stake as well as our community stake.
Right. And I think they're doing the right thing, because when you got some dickhead companies, not companies, a person doing TikTok and you're stealing your shit, it's wrong.
Yeah, they were stealing the music and then they wanted revenge because their video got taken down. So they started going after other streamers and Bungie itself. Like, they did takedowns on Bungie's own videos. Could you imagine the audacity to say, hey, I own this copyright to Bungie?
I'm hoping that Bungie wins this, because this whole situation on this is really fucked up.
They went after big names like My Name is Bife, Aztecross, The Phoenix, Promethean, Archival Mind. I mean, they went after big people on this, and when you do that, it has an effect on the community because everybody looks at Bungie like they're the bad guy. When Bungie is like, no, we don't do that.
And it kills people from buying their game too.
The whole copyright thing on YouTube is a joke in itself. I mean, Sony tried to use a copyright claim of somebody else's content. They used somebody else's video in their stuff and then tried to claim it as their own because they used it in an ad for Sony's product.
Can I ask you one question though? Bungie does Destiny. They do Halo too, right?
They did Halo. They handed off Halo to 343. 343 owns Halo now.
All right, so when you buy a new Halo game, is Bungie's name still on there?
No, it is not. They handed over all the rights to Halo to 343 Studios.
When did they do that? What was Bungie's last Halo game?
I think it was Halo 3, but I'm not positive. Apparently, it was actually Halo Reach. I just looked it up.
What year was that?
2010. It was
2010, really?
It was released in 2010.
2010. So after that, it went to that company. No shit.
Yeah. After that, Bungie started working on Destiny. And they've been doing Destiny pretty much exclusively ever since.
And that's the only game that they're actually doing, right?
Yeah. However, with Sony buying out Bungie, it is kind of putting money behind them. They might make Destiny even greater, or they might even branch off and start making other games.
And that's basically how a company works out, right? You start out with a company working on one thing, then people spread out and just do their own things. Is that usually how it works with the gaming industry?
The gaming industry usually works where a studio has an idea and they start off as like an indie company. And then typically they either make it big or they get bought out by another company.
Right.
And when they get bought out, they have to make the games the bigger company wants them to make. What Sony's done is they've taken a hands-off approach. They said, you're under our umbrella, but you are free to make the games you want. Okay, we just took an apprenticeship test. We both got decent scores. I wanted to think about like the possibilities in the skilled labor industry in itself, because we'd be going into skilled labor with this apprenticeships and learning about like things like electrician, mechanic, tool and die, and all that other stuff. I think a lot of skilled labor jobs are underemployed right now because our generation was specifically told the only way to get a good job was like a 4-year degree.
Yep.
So I think it's important to do skilled labor jobs because they're like, first of all, they're one of the underemployed jobs. There's a lot of openings, a lot of availability there. And a lot of people are paying decent to good money for people to do skilled labor.
So I wanted to put in something on this one. The reason why I think that everyone should go into skilled labor or an apprenticeship is because if you look at cost of living, minimum wage right now, minimum wage is going up and up and up and up. And, even us, being top paid in the factory, that ain't shit when you got people working minimum wage jobs and price keep going up on them, but we don't get nothing. So now we have to look into going into skilled labor. I think eventually one day everyone's going to have to go to college and learn or get a degree in something.
I still think that skilled labor jobs will be necessary. I just think we'll have to restructure the amount that they get paid. Because if we're going off of what you're thinking here, there's going to be a lack of people in those jobs. They will end up having to pay more to get them people into those jobs.
I don't know, man. I feel like in factories in general, I think they're underpaid for the time they had to go into school and learn all this stuff. But it depends on what facility it is.
I think it really depends on what company you're in.
Yeah, company.
Because certain companies pay more than others. And on top of that, there are certain skilled trade jobs that are more valuable than others. You could take a mechanic's job or an electrician's job, and you could take those elsewhere. First of all, you could take them to any factory job. But an electrician, I know you could take into just general contract work. You can take it into the people who put up high power lines. You can actually branch that off into other electrical stuff.
But with the mechanic,
you have to learn to do other things, but you'll still have some of the skill and some of the things required, and you won't have to do as much work. So you could go into car mechanics easy because you already know some of the stuff. You just got to learn car-specific stuff. Or
right.
You go into other things like ship mechanics or other just broad things that you can do, but you'll have to relearn a little bit.
The thing with mechanics, too, you gotta wait on the electrician to actually make sure that everything's shut off when it comes to electricity.
Yeah, that's the thing in a factory that they have separate jobs. You can't do somebody else's job, so you can't shut down an electrical thing if you're a mechanic. You can't touch the mechanical stuff if you're an electrician.
Yeah, I wanted to point that in there because it's either or, but we're just talking about factories right now. Either way, when you call in a mechanic to fix something, they gotta get an electrician. Just shut everything off that's electrical. Then the mechanic can do their job. So you're paying these two guys to do a one-man job.
On the other hand, you're also paying for their expertise in both of those fields. So if there is a major electrical problem, they can deal with it. If there's something mechanically wrong the electrician doesn't know, the mechanic can do that. So you're paying for their expertise along with the fact that, yes, sometimes there are jobs that one person could do if they have a slight inkling of slight bit of electrical knowledge or a slight bit of mechanical knowledge. You could do it on one person, but you're relying on two people Because you do have those cases where there is a reason for their expertise.
Yeah, I get that, but I feel like when you're going into a program, something like that, you should learn electricity and
That's a jack of all trades.
yeah. If you look at the school diagram to be a mechanic and electrician, you still, even when you go to school for a mechanic, you still gotta learn certain things for electronics too.
But you don't have to learn everything, and that's the key thing. There's some advanced stuff that you have to learn that you don't have to learn. There's advanced stuff that you don't have to learn to know one field over the other. There are similarities between the two that you have to learn, yes, but you don't have to learn everything. Personally, though, if I could get the job I wanted to get, it would be in IT, but I don't really see how to do that at my current work, so I'm going for electrician. It goes along with my hobbies. My hobbies include, I work with computers, but I also do like photography and videography.
I just want to ask, like, you like doing like photography on random things, right?
It's not completely random. I like flowers, I like sunsets and sunrises, and then I do very specific niches. Like I'm doing a collage of things on lighthouses and on covered bridges, because I think covered bridges are very interesting. Right. Nobody uses them anymore, mostly because old covered bridges wouldn't support the weight of a modern car. They were mostly for like wagons and horses and stuff.
Oh, no, I want to see some of them.
You can see them on my Facebook. I think I could probably post some of them to Instagram. Okay. I probably should port some of those over so people can see them. On top of that, one of my things for photography, like I noticed on the way here, something I want to take a picture of on the way home.
Wasn't my dead cat in the front, was it?
No, it was not your dead cat in the front. I actually saw these fields of these purple flowers.
Oh, that was pretty. That was so pretty.
I want to go take a picture of it when we're done with this. I have my camera on me, so I'm going to go take a picture of it. Or maybe a few pictures.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, because it was like a really pretty field. Like, there's going to be a bunch of rabbits in there, you know. But that was CRollur's hobbies. Mine is, I really don't really have any hobbies. Like, I don't play video games.
I think some of your hobbies include shooting guns and bows.
Well, I mean, I shoot guns, but I cannot do that stuff on TikTok. And I don't like posting video on YouTube because that can be like 16 minutes long. And I'm like, I don't have the time for that shit.
But you're picking up bows.
Well, I know how to adjust a bow. It's just, you know, I'm waiting for my bow compression.
When I was a kid, I only ever did recurves. You do compounds.
Actually, recurves are actually harder to shoot than what compounds are.
Well, it depends, because sometimes the original draw pull is harder than, like, the draw pull and the hold. The hold is a lot easier, but when you're initially drawing it, the cams make it harder to pull.
Right.
So it depends on the strength of that draw.
Well, I'll show you something right there. I have my concealed carry license, all right? So I'm going to place this right here. And
you carried it into the podcast.
I carried it into the podcast.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, you didn't know I had it on me, did you?
No, I didn't.
All right. Well, I always carry a gun on my own property because you never know who pulls in your driveway. I had so many people attempting to rob me, you know, in the present. So now I carry a gun on me and had to go through that class. So that's my hobbies: shooting guns and doing archery.
What other things do you like doing other than those two?
I like Minecraft. That's the only video game I play.
Yeah, we need to get back into that. But what else is there to do in Ohio? Like what?
What is there to do in Ohio? Well, when it gets nice and warm out, there's all kinds of things that you can do in Ohio. Go outside. Go outside.
Yeah, I noticed as a kid, like a lot of the hangout spots were like churches and bowling alleys, which I think is kind of skate parks. Yeah, but I thought it was kind of funny that I saw this TikTok earlier today. Somebody was like, why Ohio is great. They're literally quality hangout places. And they put up a picture of a church. I thought that was hilarious.
I'll tell you what, the best thing about Ohio is the flatland. If you're a hunter, it's easy to see things, you know, during the fall and winter times and early spring if you're out hunting. But if you're not a hunter, then no go.
That's only really true in the northern part of Ohio.
Oh, yeah,
north,
west.
The further south and west you get the
mountains and shit.
You get like the hilly areas. They're not quite mountains until
you
get to
I know,
until you get to Pennsylvania.
I call them mountains.
They're not mountains until you get to Pennsylvania.
I'll tell you what, though, when you drive a stick shift car, because I had one, I had a Focus, I was stick shift, and when I drove it, you know, where it was hilly, it's really a struggle.
I found the best way to deal with that is to leave it in one gear and just rev it up, down, and go up, and just you gotta build up that momentum.
You gotta get your RPMs high.
I'll tell you what trucks do going through the mountains. Because I was on a trip recently, trucks will actually just fly past the other cars and then slow down while going up the next hill.
No shit.
Like I passed this truck that was going slow, and then I got into the right lane. But then when it came down to a downhill section, he got out of the lane and then zoomed past me, going down the hill. So he gained speed going down the hill, and then he lost it all going back up the hill.
So what did he do after that? Did he actually make it up?
He slowed down to the regular speed as he approached the top of the next hill. But yeah, they'll speed up down the hill and then slow down up the next hill. They use the momentum from the downhill.
Okay, I got what you're saying, but it just sounds funny because I recently went to Amish country, northeast Ohio, right? And it was like really hilly over there. And I'm seeing like, going up and down hills, but you got to deal with Amish people riding their horse buggies. And when you go up the hill, you go down. I'm like, oh, brake check, don't want to slam this guy on this horse and buggy. And you got to follow them because you cannot see the traffic incoming because there's another hill. So you got to wait to go over that hill, then you go to pass. And Amish people have the right of way in that area.
Do they really, though?
Yeah, they do.
I figured it was that you just had to be careful of them, but I don't know.
They have the right of way.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I thought
good.
that.
That's good to know.
I got flipped off by one.
Wow. You said earlier that it was getting nice outside. It's like early to mid-spring. It's getting nice outside. It's going to be summer soon.
Yeah, it'll be summer soon.
What do you have planned for summer?
What are my plans for the summer? I'm vacationing. I can't really travel too far. I got a lot of animals. Like, we can't rely on people.
Are you planning on building anything? Because I know you built that horse stable in your barn.
Right.
But do you have any building plans? Do you have anything like that?
Oh, yeah. I'm building a barn.
You're building a barn? Another barn?
Yeah, another barn. Yeah, I'm building another barn. You're going to have to because my fiance wants 2 more horses, so we're going to have to do it.
Okay.
Then my second project is we got to try to fence everything up. Just make sure that we can leave them freely without us, worry about them getting out of their stalls and everything. And we got like a shield.
Okay.
What's your plans for the summer?
I don't officially have any for this summer. I think I'm just going to chill and hang out, probably go visit my family on occasion.
Oh, you'll hang out with me, too.
Well, that too, yeah. But officially, I don't have any plans for the summer. My plans for vacation all ended up landing closer to like Thanksgiving, like right after Thanksgiving. Because I'm planning on going on a cruise, but it's not till the week after Thanksgiving. So for me, my summer's pretty much wide open. I know I'll probably end up going to the 4th of July thing in my hometown. And then I'll probably just hang out at people's houses and stuff like that.
Man, I'm planning on getting fireworks.
We might shoot off some fireworks then.
Yeah, we're going to show off some fireworks. I mean, it's funny because you can spend like $1,000 on fireworks and it's only like 8 minutes of fun.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. We tried it one year and our neighbors got pissed off, so we never did it again. Kind of pissed. We lived out in the middle of nowhere, and then they sold off the properties around us, and we had neighbors.
No shit.
That annoyed me.
That's bullshit right there. So, like, speaking about fireworks, if a zombie apocalypse happened, is it good to even shoot fireworks off?
No.
No, because it tracks them. So I watch a lot of zombie movies, and I seen that, what was that movie? Zombieland?
Zombieland?
Zombieland 2?
That is a straight up comedy.
Oh, it was a comedy?
Yeah, it's a comedy. It's not meant to be realistic at all.
Oh, I thought it was realistic.
Not really. I mean, their whole thing is these rules that he ends up ignoring anyways. And on top of that, I mean, you had Bill Murray in it dressed as a zombie to fool the zombies.
I mean, it'll work in real life, right?
No, I don't think it would.
No?
I'm pretty sure if there were actual zombies, they'd be able to detect your hot blood.
I doubt it.
It also depends on what type of zombies, because there's the slow walking, rambling.
Oh my god! Now we're going to go into a zombie.
Like you got the ones that just can't, that aren't coordinated. But then you also have like the.
All right, let me ask you.
You also have the ones that can sprint and dart and all that.
Like
other
I Am
stuff.
Legend.
Yeah.
Zombies.
Like
Yeah. All right, I Am Legend. How would a zombie apocalypse ever happen?
Personally, based on the only things that have actually happened in real life, it would probably have to be a drug closer to the whole
Bath salts.
Yeah, the bath salt
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
And
Like,
that's the only thing that's giving me a clue on. When it actually comes down to it, all the other stuff is stuff that you can't actually prove or has been disproven to not even work. But we have had one case, people that were taken over by a drug went crazy and started biting people.
so bath salts are bad.
Yeah, bath salt being the drug named
So-
bath salt.
All right, bath salts.
It's not it's not the bath salt you use in a tub to. It's actually
It's
a drug.
not?
No.
I thought if you like smoke that shit, you know, it'd make you go crazy.
Yeah, they are officially drugs.
They are.
The only movies and things that are like that are probably like I Am Legend. They had the idea of it was an infection, and I think all the Resident Evil ones are like that because they were an infection.
Not the new one.
The older ones were.
All right, yeah.
They were all an infection from a virus.
I think it was it was called a T virus.
Yes.
Then some guy, he got the virus and he spread it worldwide. And
Drugs and viruses are probably the only way that I think it would work. I don't think you're going to have people rising from the grave via like resurrection of some sort. I don't think you're going to have...
can I ask you like one question though? Like if that ever happened, like who would die first, me or you?
I'm going to guess that I would probably die first. But I do have a plan.
You have a
I know where to go to
plan.
for doomsday preppers.
Well,
Like, I know who to go to ask for help. I'm just hoping they don't cut me off.
yeah, because you live in a city. I don't. So
Well,
yeah,
on top
actually,
of-
yeah, I would say you probably die first. And
Not-
not
not
trying
just-
to be mean, but you
Not
probably
just
would
that,
die
but
first.
you also have protection.
No, not really.
Yeah, you do. You have guns up the wazoo.
No, I'm not going to just throw condoms at him. Thank you for listening to CRollur Willy McD podcast.